Sweet. So I just want to give a little bit of an introduction. So this is Jack Mason. He's currently doing over 50K with his agency, just scaling everyone's personal brand. Basically, you guys can check him out.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate you having me, Ryan. Ryan's been helping me out with the sales a little bit as well, so that's been awesome. But today I'm here to talk about the personal branding. So let me just share my screen and get into a little bit of a presentation here. Also, while I'm kind of presenting, I'm not sure exactly how long this will go, but if you have any kind of pressing questions, definitely feel free to interrupt me and I'll get to your question. But I'm also leaving some time at the end for a Q&A. So we'll have time to do that as well. So just to start off, with my own personal brand, I get about 10 DMs a day from setters, closers, and that's kind of averaged out over the last 12 months. So that's 3,600 messages. I've only responded to one of them. Okay, 1 out of 3,600. Why? Because I trusted their brand. So I want to talk a little bit about who I am and then why it's super important to build a personal brand as a setter, as a closer. So I'm Jack. I've helped more than 100 entrepreneurs build, monetize their personal brands. I'm a coach, a content coach, content strategist inside the biggest content coaching community in the world, the School of Hard Knocks, 79,000 followers. In February, I collected 40K cash from my personal brand just for my coaching offer. That's kind of different from my agency, which is extra. But I'm currently coaching clients making at least $2 million a month. So why should you build a personal brand? There's a ton of reasons, but if I had to kind of boil it down into a few, it's a traffic source, it's a trust driver, and it's a conversion mechanism for you and for your business. Basically, money, connections, and network. I've had F1 drivers reach out to me and refer me and want to work with me and be able to live this lifestyle that we all want to live as working an online business, be able to travel the world and work from anywhere. And a personal brand is going to allow you to do all of that. I think specifically for your guys' situation, I know it involves a lot of outreach, right? A lot of cold DMs, a lot of pitching yourselves, trying to find the right offer, the offer owners to give you a chance. Having a strong personal brand will mean that the offer owners are going to come to you and message you and try to get you on their offer. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that a personal brand is going to do for you if you structure it in the right way and you post the right type of content.
Can I touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Right. A lot of us are treating closing as like a job, right? We're treating it as like, okay, cool. Like once I land this one good offer, right, then I'll be okay, right? I want us to treat closing as a business, right? Okay, cool. Like let me build something so I can have a steady stream of offers, right? And treat our offer owners as clients, right? And treat our brand as a way to basically get offers, an acquisition funnel, like a system.
Yeah.
Right? So you never have to run out of offers, right? That'll also help you when you want to break into management, right? Because as you guys know, when you manage offers, right, you're now able to manage multiple, right? You need a steady stream of offers if you ever want to break into it, as well as like, let's say you're working for an offer, it's like what, 5 to 8K OTE, right? You do good on that offer, right? How do you land offers 10, 20, 30K? Oh, you should probably post what you're doing when you're working for that 5 to 8K OT offer. Someone with a 10, 20, 30K OT offer is going to hit you up, right? They'll find you. You interview them, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. And really in terms of your situation, guys, the bar is really low for setters, for closers in terms of what content you're posting. So if you can actually demonstrate a little bit of your skill in your content, whether that's closing calls, how you think about setting or closing, that's just going to put you ahead of like 99% of your competition. Again, and like Ryan mentioned, when you're applying for these roles, you just have more leverage. You have a following, you have a skill set, even in terms of when you're negotiating with offer owners and everything like that. If they understand, okay, this guy's in demand, he has other guys reaching out to him, there are other offers he could be on, that's just going to give you so much more leverage in all the negotiations you're doing. And ultimately a good reputation. That's obviously important as well, especially if you want to be doing this long term. So if we understand that content gives you leverage, what should you be posting? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the content map, which is how I like to think about a personal brand and content, basically. I think so many people overcomplicate this way too much. But at the end of the day, I want you to think about a personal brand like a map, right? So on the left-hand side, we have point A, and on the right-hand side, we have point C, and point B is in the middle, okay? Point B is where you are right now. It's your current situation, it's your current skill set, it's your current goals. Point A is where you started. So this is going to be what I call your anti-vision. And this is the life that you're basically working to avoid, to get away from, whether that's being broke, having to work a 9-to-5 job, having a boss tell you what to do, not having freedom to work from anywhere. That's point A. Point C is the point that we're trying to get to. And it's going to be different for all of us, right? Obviously, there's going to be some similarities in terms of I want to make more money. I want to have more freedom. I want to travel. I want to be successful. I want to provide for my parents, things like this. And point B is where we are right now. So we're on this journey from point A to point B. And that's basically what a personal brand is. It's documenting where you are and where you're trying to go. So I like to break this down a little bit more into content pillars. So once we kind of understand where we're trying to get away from and where we're trying to get to, then the question is, okay, well, how are we going to get to point C? How are we going to get to our vision? How are we going to get to making more money? How are we going to get to better offers? And this is where kind of the 3 content pillars come in. So I want you to think of it as like pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, which are money-making interest, genuine interest, and developmental interest. These are 3 broad topics that you're using to put yourself in the best position to live the life that you want. So for me, that could be personal brand coaching. It could be going to the gym, and it could be having a better mindset. And then within each of those bigger topics, we can break them down into subtopics. And that's really the content that we can make on our page and post. Because at the end of the day, we don't need all our content to be about here's how I'm a good setter, here's how I'm a good closer. Because that's just going to make us a commodity, because everyone else is posting that type of content, that type of value content. It's like, how can we stand out as a person? And by dividing the content that we're posting into kind of these 3 pillars and these 3 categories, we're posting about our expertise, we're posting about our skill, we're showing that we know what we're talking about, but we're also posting other aspects of ourselves that make us relatable, that make us authentic, that make us admirable. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, but that's just how I want you to start thinking about what a personal brand is and how to actually go about creating one. Next, I want to talk about the content funnel. So this is pretty simple. We want to grow your audience, we want to nurture that audience, and then we want to attract potential clients or offer owners in your guys' case to reach out to us. So you can think of it like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. I like to think about it audience building, brand building, and client building. So the entire point of audience building is to grow your audience, right? Is to get more eyeballs on your content. So reach new people and basically create awareness about who you are with your ideal follower, whoever that is to you. Once we have these people onto our page, right, we post the content that's attracted them, that's made them curious. Like, who is this guy? What does he do? He seems cool. Seems like he has a skill. Then we're nurturing them. So that's the brand building content. Here we're basically trying to deepen trust and show who we actually are beneath just the skill set that we have. So build trust and emotional connection with our current audience. Brand building content isn't about trying to attract a new audience and go viral. It really is. The videos that you post that are brand building content are going to get fewer views. They just are. But that's kind of the point, because we're trying to nurture the audience that we do have and make them think, okay, this guy's a real person. I relate to his story. I admire the journey that he's working on himself, and basically just building trust online. Then the last part is going to be client building content. So once we have the audience, once we've nurtured the audience, now it's about, okay, how can we actually turn a smaller percentage of that audience who, in your case, again, have offers and are looking to hire, how can we make them think of us as kind of the only option when they go to hire? So basically converting them into conversations, right, in your DMs, converting them into tryouts, right, getting some tryouts on some offers, and then ultimately placements. So that's how I like to think about content in terms of the 3 types. just going a little bit more in depth. So the audience building content is going to be basically, in your case, probably top of funnel sales content. It's going to be reaction videos, live closing calls, and maybe even some lifestyle content, depending on if your lifestyle kind of is worth documenting. With the brand building content, we're looking at who you actually are. What's your story? Like, what are your beliefs? What's your personality? What are the unique insights that you have, whether that's about sales or life, that no one else does, and that really separates you and positions you as a thought leader. And then the client building content, this is typically pretty simple. It's testimonials, right? And it's case studies. It's talking about what you've done and the success that you've had for other offer owners. Next, I want to talk about how to find outlier or high performing content ideas. So there are two main sources. There's you, and then there's other creators. So let's just take a look at yourself for now. And within yourself, there's three parts that you can pull from. So there's your past experiences, right? The lessons you've learned, the mistakes you've made, the things that you've done. There's kind of where you are now, which are your daily observations. So your day-to-day thoughts, the challenges that you're going through in real time, and the realizations that you're having along the way. And then there's client conversations, which are probably the most important or most valuable source of ideas for content. So this really gives you access to the thoughts, to the fears, to the desires, to the dream outcomes of your ideal clients. And if we understand that, and we can make content that helps them get closer to that dream outcome or to avoid that pain point, that's going to be the content that is going to be super powerful for actually getting them to think, hey, like, this guy actually knows what he's talking about, and I want to work with him because I have an offer and I'm ready to, hire some reps. Like, he's the guy that I want to go to. In terms of your own ideas, there's this term, or there's this thing I like to think about called brand outliers. So these are the things that are unique or impressive about you that make your brand memorable. And so there are two types. There's external outliers, which is kind of what it sounds like. Your external results, right? Money, results, lifestyle, titles, positions. And then there's like internal outliers. And these are a little bit harder to see on the outside, but they're your story, your mindset, your character, and your philosophy. And in each piece of content, we want to be leveraging these as much as possible. The external outliers are going to attract attention, and the internal outliers are going to build connection. So for me, for instance, in my content, a big part of how I've been able to scale up my following and kind of my MRR has been leveraging my age and my followers. So in a ton of my videos, I say, I'm 22 or I'm 23 with 75,000 followers and ... right? So I'm leveraging these two brand outliers right at the beginning of the content. And those videos where I do that tend to go viral, or at least get way better view counts than the videos that I don't. So if you can think to yourself, are there some things about me, whether that's my age, my income, something I've done, some story I have that's kind of like a rags to riches, or, I started from very unfortunate circumstances and I've made something of myself. Like, what are those things in your life or that you have that we can leverage in the content? Because at the end of the day, talking about those things are going to give you the best chance to get views and attract as many audience members as you want, really. So I just start thinking about those outliers. And the second part is getting ideas from other creators, right? So we were talking about getting ideas from ourselves in our own lives. Now let's take a look at getting ideas from other creators. And there are two methods that I like to do to get great ideas. One is the scroll save method. So this is what I would call like a passive research method. It's basically you're just scrolling your feed, and as content comes up that you think, hey, like this is from a competitor, or this is a piece of content, about sales that I could replicate, or I could put my own spin on, I'm just going to save that piece of content on Instagram into a saved collection. And you can really create saved collections however you want. I like to have three: audience building, brand building, and client building, like we talked about earlier with the content funnel. You could also just have it like a value folder and then like a documentation folder. I've seen some people do that as well. But the idea is we're basically trying to find videos that have views, likes, and engagement, but we're not actively looking for them. We're just kind of seeing them on our feed, especially if we are following other guys in our niche. Those types of videos are naturally going to come up. So then you save them to this collection, and then when you do need to go and create content, or you kind of don't have any content ideas, you can just refer back to these 3 saved collections, and you basically have proven ideas that have performed well in your niche. So that's one way to do it. The second way is what I call the curated creator method. And this is more active in terms of ideation and research. So you kind of actively go out and find at least 10 creators whose content, positioning, or audience you want kind of for yourself. So those are going to be, in your case, sales reps, setters, whatever, who are a few steps ahead of you, and whose content you're like, damn, like I want my content to get to that point, or they get a ton of views on their videos. Like let's find those people. Let's analyze their top posts, and again, let's save 3 or 4 examples per creator into those 3 saved collections that we just talked about, with the audience, with the brand, with the client building. And so we're going to do that weekly. So we're going to be constantly refreshing, adding ideas to this content bay. And so the idea is, if you just do this for 1 or 2 weeks, you're going to have like at least 20 proven content ideas for you to take and basically make your own. And again, we can do this passively, or we can do this more actively. But it is good to do both. One last part I want to talk about with coming up with ideas and content ideation. The question is like, how do I know what piece of content to make? Like, I see these other creators posting videos, and some of them get a lot of views. But then at the same time, I see other videos and they don't necessarily get as many views, but they really make me connect with the creator. So it's kind of like this push and pull of views and virality and connection and authenticity. So I like to frame this as, like, I call it the personal performance matrix. And so the golden ideas, or the best ideas that you want to post, are high on proven performance in terms of views, engagement, stuff like that, but also personal resonance. So these are not just viral topics. These are topics that you actually connect to, that you actually want to talk about, that you feel like you have a deep perspective on. And it's like, when you think of creating a video about this topic, you're actually excited to do so. That's what I mean when I say proven personal resonance. So if we can find videos that have proven performance and personal resonance, those are going to be those gold ideas, and those are going to be the best type of content that you should be posting on your page. It's okay to post some videos from time to time where it's like, this video is just an idea I want to talk about. I haven't seen another creator make a video like this and it's performed well. It's just something that feels really connected to me, so I'm just going to make that piece of content. Or it could just be, hey, this video went viral and I'm just going to kind of copy it and do my own take. I don't necessarily feel super connected to it, but it performed well, so I'm just going to kind of recreate it. We can try those types of videos as well, but the main types of videos I want you to be focusing on are those golden ideas that combine kind of the performance and the resonance. Last part here, I want to talk about storytelling structure. So just for some context, back in September, October, I switched up my content a little bit and it was flopping. So I was getting terrible views, as you can see on the left-hand side, like not even 2,000 views on a video. And I felt like there's a ton of value in this video. It looks really good. The editing's great. Like, what am I doing wrong? Why aren't I breaking out and actually getting views on this video? And I thought about it and I realized that it was my storytelling. So I did a lot of work on completely breaking down how I was telling stories on Instagram and on social media. And I built up this new structure that I run with now. And that's led to results, as you can see, like these videos on the right-hand side. And so this storytelling structure is broken down into 2 parts. So there's personal stories, and I'm going to skip ahead. There's value and tactics stories. So let's start with personal stories. The way you want to structure this is basically as I have it on screen, right? So you want a hook, you want to amplify that hook, and basically a rehook. Basically, you have a hook, you have another hook, and then you have context for your story. And so that looks like the before, the realization you had, the action you took because of that realization, and the outcome you got from taking that action. I can give you a better example, kind of based on my own story. So if I'm telling a personal story, it would be like, I quit my job 8 months ago to go all in on my business, and I failed miserably. See, when I quit my job, I thought I would make money immediately. So I was posting every single day. I was ideating. I was coming up with ideas. I was investing in mentors, but nothing was working. Then I realized something. The best videos on social media and the guys who made the most money understood storytelling, right? So that's the realization. So once I realized that, then I invested in a mentor who was all about storytelling, who taught me this new framework, who taught me this personal storytelling framework. And so I took action. I started using that. And in the next month, I took my average views from 2,000 to 10,000, right? So that would be kind of the context portion. And then when I say open loop, which is the next step, the whole point here is trying to get people to comment a keyword for a free resource, what I call a lead magnet. So the open loop basically positions the lead magnet that you're going to push people to at the end of the video as incredibly important and worthwhile. And then the close is basically where you have the lead magnet, where you say, comment story, and I'll send over the storytelling framework I use to go from 2 to 10,000 views on average. So that's kind of the high level storytelling framework. And I do have a more in-depth resource on this storytelling guide that I'm happy to send over to you guys after this call. But I want to talk about kind of one other storytelling framework, which is very similar in terms of the hook, amplifying the hook. The only difference here is instead of the context and talking about your personal story, right, the before, the realization, the action you took, and the outcome, it's more just straight value, straight sauce. So it's either a step-by-step guide, like here's how to close more deals, or an insight. And an insight is different than a step-by-step or a how-to. An insight is how you did something. So a step-by-step is how to do something, but an insight is how you yourself did something. And insight content is way more valuable than step-by-step content, because instead of just stating a theory like, hey, here's how you can close more deals, step 1, step 2, step 3, you personalize it and you say, here's how I closed 10K worth of deals yesterday, and then step by step by step. And it just gives so much more credibility to the knowledge, the value that you're sharing, because you've actually done it and you've used it for yourself, as opposed to just saying, this is how you should do, how you should close $10,000 worth of sales in one day. And again, I do have a more in-depth breakdown of the storytelling sequences and examples of what good hooks look like, what good amplifying sections look like, what good open loops look like, what good call to actions look like, all that stuff. But this is kind of just the basic structure that I want you to focus on when you are telling stories, because at the end of the day, social media and Instagram specifically is built on storytelling. It's built on connecting with other creators. And if you're not doing it right, it's going to be really hard to get views. And as we talked about, grow that audience, grow that brand, and ultimately find leads and find offer owners to put you guys on. So that's the presentation. I'm not sure exactly how long it was. I think it's a good time, but I'm happy to take any questions you guys have. I know it's a little bit all over the place, but I love to answer questions you guys have. So just I guess raise your hand, or Ryan can let me know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you feel like the likelihood of you hiring a setter that doesn't have a personal brand? Like, how low is the percentage? Like almost zero?
It's close to zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like most people are like looking at this call, it's like, yeah, it's just personal branding, but this is literally like you get hired, or like you never never get hired.
Yeah.
Especially when they're DMing a personal brand coach with no personal brand. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like how many of you guys barely have any content, but are doing a ton of cold outreach and messaging people?
What we should do, everyone put their Instagram in the chat right now. We'll have Jack share his screen and just review your guys' accounts.
I gotta head out to a sales team meeting, unfortunately. But I've been posting content for a little bit and already seen like offers.
Put your
from
Instagram in the
Jack,
chat. Yeah,
which
put
is
your
good.
Instagram in the chat, Jack.
Yeah, I had a question. How do you deal with because it's like picking up for sure, and I've had viral videos on there, only like 200K. But how would you deal with like just managing like taking tons of sales calls a day, and then also making the content? Because I find I struggle to like have the time. I'll have the time for it, but like when it comes down to like doing really quality stuff, like how do you manage it yourself?
I'll answer that question, and then I'll have Jack answer that question. But think about it, right? When you're taking sales calls, if we're thinking this closing as a business, right, that is your fulfillment for your client.
Yeah.
So we need to understand the difference between how to balance fulfillment and how to balance acquisition, right? Is it higher? It's actually low leverage to be completely packed out, because then you're focused on fulfillment the whole time. You're not focused on acquisition of clients.
Mhm.
Right? Does that make sense? Right? It's low leverage because you'll never land those bigger clients if you're always focused on fulfilling for the clients that are only at 2 to 3K OTE.
Yeah, I guess that comes more down to like when you talk about the DQing process and being just smart with your sales time.
Yeah. And then also, you DQ, and then it's like, cool, I have 2 hours open. Let me just film.
Yeah. I got a banger coming out today, bro. Another sales recording, but that's I wish I could, but I really want to stay in here. Jack, you're killing us.
The recording will be in the server.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
I had 2 questions.
Yeah.
First question is, what like out of like Instagram or like TikTok or whatever, like what platform is the best to post consistently? Like I know there's YouTube too. Like which one's really the best to actually quickly gain a following or like views?
Instagram, for sure. I think, TikTok, in terms of views, like TikTok's fine as well. But I think when people are scrolling TikTok, they're not in a mindset of like, I'm trying to hire someone. Whereas on Instagram, a lot of guys actually go on Instagram to find guys to hire. So I think that's the difference. Even like with my content, like I've tried posting on TikTok before, the same content as Instagram. For every like lead I get on Instagram, or for every lead I get on TikTok, I probably get like 10 on Instagram. So I just feel like buyers are more in the buyer mindset on Instagram. And I think that's the case across industries. So I would really focus on Instagram, and that's gonna be the quickest way to grow that following. And then ideally, once you have that following, you're able to start posting YouTube occasionally, once a week, once every 2 weeks. But that's not actually necessary, because in February, when I had my huge month, I wasn't even really posting on YouTube. It was just Instagram. So I think that's honestly all you need.
Okay. All right. And then my next question was oh, I forgot. Hold on, come back to me. I forgot it.
Yeah, so I have a question as well.
Yep.
So I've been setting for about a year, but I've never posted content. So like, in your opinion, like what kind of content should I post, like where I can connect with offer owners and get more credibility on my content as well?
Well, what have you gotten any good results?
Yeah, I mean, I have near 200K in cash collected throughout my experience with sales.
So yeah, dude, just make a video on that. Make a video talking about what you did, and how you did it, and kind of the context about, this person reached out, they wanted this from me, so I hopped on the offer, and I did this, and this, and over the course of this time period, I was able to generate 200K, whatever, for this offer, or in total. I think kind of case studies like that are going to be the quickest way, like the highest leverage content you could be posting. Also client testimonials, if you are able to like literally get a 30-second clip of one of the offer owners talking about the work that you've done. It's one thing if you say what you did, but if someone else actually vouches for you, that's going to be so much more powerful to build credibility and trust.
Yeah, I think the market is shifting now. Personal branding is no longer optional. It's now a requirement. If you don't have a personal brand, you're done. Like it's not an option anymore. It's not like, oh, okay, like I'll do it if I want.
Like it is optional, but
right. But I mean, it's optional if you want to make money.
right?
Yeah, it's optional if you want to make money, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think especially 2026, there's just so much more competition than ever, especially in the online space. And the bar, as I said, is so low. Like again, most people in your guys' position aren't posting any content, don't have a personal brand at all. So if you can just get like 20% of the way there to like a really good personal brand and just like an okay content strategy, like you're just going to be so much further ahead and just have so many more opportunities than the guys who aren't even really trying on that.
Think about how many sales groups aren't even thinking about personal brand. It's just straight sales, right? Those closers will never, ever have a personal brand. They won't even have the idea to start a personal brand.
Yeah. Should I review a couple Instagram or answer some more
Yes.
questions?
Do both.
Yeah, Jack, before you do that, I remembered a question. So like I've seen some people like, for example, like Giuliano Massarelli and like TJR and all of those people who post, a lot. Like they post a lot of stuff throughout like TikTok and Instagram. And sometimes it's not even about like, sometimes it won't even really be about sales. TJR posts a lot of stuff that aren't even related to sales, just messing around and stuff. And Giuliano, his following grew rapidly. Like he grew a lot. I remember like 4 or 5 months ago, he was like barely at like 10,000. Now he's at like around 300,000. So I was just like asking, what was your opinion on like, oh, he just typed in the chat of like quality and quantity. Like, what was your opinion on that? Like, because TJR posts like 30 times a week and shit. Like, I was just seeing your opinion on that.
Yeah, well, what is TGR selling, and who's he selling it to?
He does have. I'm pretty sure he has a course, but on TikTok and stuff. Yeah, he trades. He does a trading course, but he also, just posts a lot of random shit on TikTok, and it seems to like get a pretty good amount of views. Giuliano does the same thing. So like, just yeah, I was just wondering your opinion on like quality.
Like it works
and
for
quantity.
him. It works for him. Like it really depends on your offer. Like if you're a business owner, if you have a low ticket course or a low ticket offer, then you just try to go as viral as possible and post as much as possible. I think for yourself, who are you trying to attract with your content ideally?
Maybe if I wanted to get into coaching, just an audience that like buyers, or if I wanted to do a personal brand like with offer owners too, like just offer owners or just buyers in general, because I wanted to start coaching after, like, maybe in a couple months.
Yeah, like it really depends on the strategy. Like for me, I'm targeting business owners. I could post content that's like, here's how to grow your social media, and it could get way more views, but those views wouldn't really mean anything because they're not necessarily bringing in the right people.
Can you talk about that, Jack? How views don't mean anything? I feel like it's a big misconception.
Yeah, like I've had videos with like 100,000 views give me 0 leads, and some videos with like 6,000 views make me most of the money I made last month. And the difference was what I was talking about and who I was talking to. And basically I was more specifically looking at and talking to business owners who had businesses, who had offers, but were struggling to find leads with their content. And so I was like, okay, here's how to do this step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's how I did it for myself. Whereas the videos that went viral, it's like, my content looks better than 99% of creators. Here's how, right? And then I'm speaking to all of creators on Instagram. And so it makes sense that it gets more views, right? And it gets more engagement. There were like hundreds of people commenting, but none of them were really my qualified. Like a small portion of them might have been qualified, but I think like at least 99% weren't. And so you need to think, okay, like, is the content I'm posting, if I'm getting views, are the views the right one? And it's like, how do you know if the views are good or not? Well, it's like, what am I talking about in the video? And is the topic of my video very applicable to my ideal client? And so for you, it's a different strategy if you're trying to just attract offer owners or like coaching clients. It's completely different. So you need to kind of figure out which lane you want to go into, and the content strategy and the type of content you're posting is going to change. It also does depend on the ticket size. So for instance, I have an offer where I'm like 12K for 3 months or 10K for 3 months. If I had an offer where it was like, I'm selling a digital product on how to grow your Instagram, then it would make sense for me to be posting more viral, more general, widely applicable videos. And in that case, the views would actually be more valuable. But again, if I have this super niche, high ticket offer and I'm creating videos about super generic, broad topics about how to grow on social media, those views are going to be worth way less than if my offer was different. Does that make sense?
You know what's funny? I actually know a closer that charges upfront to close for offer owners.
Really?
Yeah, I actually know, and he's like, okay, cool. I charge up front and like I take 15% comms instead of 10 because he has such a strong brand, which is actually crazy. That's like the power of the brand. You can literally make up your OTE. Your 3 to 5K OTE? No, because I want 15% comms. So this role was actually 5 to 8 for me.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I've had clients that have gotten on calls with me and my offer was like 6K for 3 months. And they were like glazing my brand. And they're like, dude, like I need my brand to look like yours.
Yeah.
The visuals, how you speak on camera, the editing, like just tell me what I need to do. And then because they're so bought into my brand, I'm like, I'm gonna double the price and they're gonna pay it because of my brand.
Yeah.
It's not because of what I'm saying on the call. Because I can say the same thing to two different people on the call. And if one's really bought into my brand and like has been nurtured for a long period of time, it's just going to be so much more likely that they're gonna pay and have fewer objections.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree.
It's just the simple rule. Like it's not, you don't charge how much value you think you can provide to people. You charge how much value they think you can provide.
And how do you increase the perceived value?
Exactly.
One of the main ways is through content, is showing your expertise, is showing your authority. So yeah, no, that's a great point.
But I guess anyone have any other questions? Jack's just going to start cooking your guys' brands.
What are people saying damn about?
What's the damn? What's the damn for?
Yeah, like I'm not saying views don't matter at all. I'm just saying like there's nuance there. And to be as targeted as possible in terms of the content you're creating and getting really clear on who you're talking to before you create content. That's one of the most important things. I also have like a 33-page free resource that I sometimes give out to people. I'm happy to like send that into the chat because it kind of goes over what I talked about on this call.
Send it to me. I'll send it to my group. They get access to that.
Okay, I'll send it to Ryan. But yeah, you guys should definitely go through it, and it does talk about how to get clear on your ideal client and who you should actually be posting for. So you should definitely check that out. Is buying followers pointless? Yeah, dude, I would not buy followers. I think that's the complete waste of your money. Let's grow an organic audience that actually fucks with you and over the long term is going to interact with your content, is going to repost, is going to comment, is going to share. Buying followers is tough if you want to do anything long term with your brand. Cool. Should I go over a couple accounts here?
We got one more question. Critique said, Jack, what should I post if I'm new to the industry? Maybe I would say for me, like post your role play recordings if you're not on offer yet. That's a big thing. Or post maybe, I don't know, you explaining the scripting that I've given you to another rep. Something like that. Yeah.
At the beginning, it is tough, right? Because you don't really necessarily have these brand outliers. You don't necessarily have the success to leverage. But yeah, just trying to find something that you can explain, that you can talk about, some value you can provide, even if it's just you have a resource and you're just retelling it and explaining how it works. When I started, a year ago or so, like I didn't really have any results, so I leveraged what I did have, which was my visuals, because I was a videographer in the past. So I'm like, how can I make my content look as good as possible? Just because that's some value I can provide. And then once I started getting my first few clients and I was getting results and I could talk about my clients, the results, and it's kind of like a positive feedback loop. So try to find anything that you can And at the end of the day, posting something decent is so much better than just posting nothing and having zero posts on your profile. Like if I go and I look at it, which I'm about to right now, I'm gonna share my screen. Like if I see at least like a couple videos of you just talking to the camera and explaining your area of expertise, like I'm just gonna be so much more likely to actually give you a chance and maybe even look at the DM and maybe respond. As opposed to like a profile picture where I can't see your face, there's no videos on your page. I'm just like, yeah, like there's 0% chance I'm gonna look at that. So let me share my screen here.
Oh, one more question. How much value does the verification badge, the little check mark?
I think it depends on your following. Like if you have like 1,000 followers and you're verified, it's kind of like, is that a scam? Like how can you get verified with so few followers? I think you need at least a few thousand for it to be like worthwhile. Like for me, I have like almost 80K and I'm verified, and that it does a lot for my brand at this point. But when I was first starting out, when my content kind of looked like shit, when I had way fewer followers, if I was verified then, it would not have helped me the way that it does now. So it depends on your current situation. So Christian, let's see. Okay, man, there's not much to see. So there's one picture. Okay. Is your face, can I see your face? Okay, I can't see your face. Can't see your face. Let's check the highlights. Something went wrong. The page doesn't exist. Okay, there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues here, bro.
All right, I'm about to make a new account. I'm about to make a new account and then go crazy. I'm about to make that's for like I'm religious, so yeah.
We got some Bible verses.
Think about it. You're an offering with a 30K OT role at Christians. Yo, hey, I'm gonna be the best setter ever got.
No, yeah, facts. I'm about to start posting on my. I just made a new high ticket sales account. I'm about to start posting.
Okay, let's start. The bar is super low. Let's start with a profile picture where we can see your face. Let's start with a bio, what you do, what you've done, and a call to action.
All right.
I would start there, dude. That's a good start. It's okay to mix in some of these pictures here and there, the carousel stuff like that, the lifestyle stuff. But I need some value videos.
Yeah. So should I post like 5 times a week? Is that like kind of sweet spot?
Yeah, at the beginning, like even 4 or 5 would be great. It'll probably be pretty hard at the beginning. So sometimes I advise clients, okay, let's start with like 15 videos a month, for example, for the first month. And then the second and third month, then we scale up to 20, 30 videos a month. Just once we kind of understand how to create content first, instead of trying to spread ourselves too thin over the first month. And then we're just posting to post and it kind of looks shit. It doesn't really follow the strategy. So I would start maybe like 3-4 times a week. And definitely go through this guide that I'm gonna share with Ryan as well. It's a great foundation to start.
Yeah, Christian, I'll shoot over that guide to you.
Okay, Justin, New York info sales, full cycle closer. Okay, at least we have a bit of a bio here. That's good. Let's see, we just have some highlights here. Okay, we got some results. We've got some proof. That's good. We got some lifestyle. We got some more lifestyle. Got some travel. Dude, I don't know what you look like. Like, if I'm hiring someone to my team, I at least want to know what they look like. I know I keep saying this, but like, I feel like that's kind of like the first step that we need to take care of is have a picture of your face. So you don't have any posts. Dude, I would just take some of these screenshots and just talk about how you got them. Like literally just talk about the process of
testimonials right there
of closing these.
Results.
Super simple. You don't need to like do anything different. It's like, hey, here's the result I got. Here's some context. Like, here's the offer kind of generally, and here's what I did, and here's what we got. Like, I think just one video like that. If I saw a reel like that on your page and it was well done, I'd be like, oh shit, like maybe this guy messaged me. Maybe like let me just see where this is gonna go, as opposed to just, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna respond. So I think those would be the first couple things to look at for you. Okay, here we got some content finally. Documenting my success, helping others through personal experience. So, what, Vinuk, what is your goal with this content? You here? I'm gonna say no. Let's move on.
He typed in
Josh,
chat.
did he? What did he say? I can't see.
He said just for fun right now.
Okay, what is your goal though? Eventually,
For fun?
Like,
What do you mean for fun? Why are we doing things for fun? What the fuck? Why would you ever do something for fun? That's just, what are we doing?
yeah, I think if you're trying to get offer owners, like we need to be talking a little bit more about stuff that they would care about. So I'm not sure if you're just starting out, if you have any results, but like this seems just like kind of mindset content, which is fine, but it doesn't tell me doesn't tell me what you actually do and what you can do for me. Even like your bio, like let's have a little bit about what you do, like not just helping others through personal experience. Like, what do you do, bro? Do you set? Do you close? Like, I want to see that, and then I want to see some content about that. So it's not just the mindset stuff. Like if you're selling like one-on-one coaching about
Yeah,
how
I can
to,
finally unmute myself, bro. My bad. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you said like yeah, what I do, I set currently.
So why don't I see that on your Instagram?
Yeah, I mean like the page wasn't, I don't know, I just really like didn't think of it as like a, advertising myself for offers.
Well, then
Yeah,
create a new page.
yeah.
You can post this mindset stuff. That's totally fine, but it's confusing when you're, ideally you're trying to make more money as as what you're doing in sales. So I would create a new page and focus on that.
It's like, are you
Yeah.
a setter or are you like Hudson Cosper?
Yeah, so
Yeah. Cool.
okay,
But it's good that you're at least talking to the camera, man. Like this is a skill that takes time to develop. So even the stuff that you're doing now, it's a skill that you'll be able to apply over to the new account when you do start posting a more kind of business content. So that's good.
But I have a question as like since I like as far as now I've only been training, right? So like writing down the script and like mocking, like what kind of content would you recommend me to post it?
Yeah. If you've just been training, Ryan, what do you think about this? If he's
I went
not,
to go grab a fork, but what if you've just been training? What was that?
yeah, in terms of the content that he could be posting, if he hasn't actually done any.
Post your role plays. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna practice training for this trading offer and setting a booking. Okay, hey Chris, can you just be like a super hard prospect real quick and just cook the shit out of me? Bet put that recording and handle it and then set the appointment.
Gotcha.
Yeah, stuff like that. Even like some big guys in the space do skits like that all the time. You like distort the other person's voice, and then as you're talking to them, you kind of show the technique that you're using in real time. Like when you say a line, it's like, oh, I'm disarming, or like, I'm probing here. Just kind of show that you know what you're doing, and like show that you're really kind of dialed in terms of like, I said this line, but I said it for a reason. So those type of videos where you're doing the role play and you distort the voice, you add the captions in real time as you're saying a line. It's like, what is he actually doing there? What's the technique? And then getting the close, or getting into the next stage with the call, I think would be a super cool piece of content. That's what I'm recommending to. I'm working with like a sales manager guy, and he's been posting just talking head content. I'm like, dude, let's do some role play, because I think that's a really good piece of like more top of funnel, like audience building content.
Yeah,
that has been really successful recently. So I try that out for sure.
Okay, appreciate it. And like when you said that you can kind of use yourself for like advertising yourself for like offers, bro, that was fire. I've never like really thought about that. Like that was actually fire, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you got
Awesome.
some value, bro.
Yeah, man, that's great to hear. Cool. Josh, let's see. Okay, Josh is an entrepreneur. He's in sales and branding. You're here to change lives. Okay, we got some. How much content do we have? You have quite a bit here. That's good, man. It's good to see. We got some whiteboard breakdowns. Yeah, this is good. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't even watched any content, and I'm like
See how
more
much
likely
better
to.
this is? Exactly, from nothing. Way better. Even though
Like
it's
if
probably
you
not the best quality, good.
if you message me, I'd be like, I might respond. I might definitely like check out your page. So let's see. Let's check out the highlights here. Cool. Okay, so this is good. It shows your. It kind of shows a little bit more about who you are, right? When we talked about the brand building content, like the mindset, the Bible, things like that. Shows that you're working on yourself. Hold on, let's see. First close in sales. Awesome. Showing you working. Some fit stuff. Cool. I like that there's a little bit of proof up here. Let's see. Communication without comprehension is pointless. Yeah, man. What Josh, what do you feel like are the main issues you're having with the content that you're posting right now? You can feel free to unmute because I can't necessarily see the chat right now.
Josh, you in here?
I don't think he's in here, bro.
Okay. Let me grab a couple
Josh-
other Instagrams.
Josh left.
I'll do this here.
Boys, the steak and eggs is hitting.
Okay. I book calls, working with coaches and creators, edited pro videos for over 100 creators. So what do you do, man? Are you an editor?
I
This is
used to
editing
be
community?
I used to be a video editor, but I've been in sales for the past year.
So what is your main goal? Is it sales or video editing?
I quitted like editing like almost like a year ago, and I've been into sales, and I'm just trying to get into closing as of now.
So why are we talking about your video editing if you're trying to get into sales?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would probably just remove
If I
this.
try to hire you as a setter, I'd be like, he's probably going to set for me for 2 months, and then once someone gives him an editing role that'll pay more, he's just going to leave me. So I'm not going to hire him. You know what I mean? Think about your profile, not from your perspective, but from an off-runner with a 30K OTE roles perspective, how they would view you right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How often are you posting? Yeah, you haven't posted in several months, eh? So I like that your face is in the profile picture at least, but in terms of like the content you should be posting, so you're setting, you want to get into closing, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you gotten any results with setting so far?
Yeah, I have about near 200K in cash collected for the past year as a setter, and yeah, I'm just trying to get into closing as of now.
Yeah, well, do you have a video about that?
No.
Okay. Do you think that would be important to have on your page?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think the process from going from setter to closer, you need to show the results as a setter first, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. So 200K last year. If it was just a video of you sitting in a chair, looking into the camera, I made $200,000 in the last year as a setter, and then just literally talk about what you did, where you started, the things that you did to improve, to show your work ethic, and then what the end result was. Kind of like that storytelling framework that I talked about: the before, the realization, the after, and the outcome. If you had one pin post like that,
Mm-hmm.
that immediately gives you like 100 times more credibility in my mind and in other offer owners' minds.
Yeah. And do you think like I should like document my journey on getting into closing?
Yeah, no, that's a good series that you could do. I would have a mix of, let's just say we're posting like 2-3 times a week, maybe like once a week it'll be like, here's my journey getting into sales, here's what I'm doing. Or maybe even more often, actually. You could do it twice a week and basically just show the process of you putting in the work. Talk about the things that you're doing to improve. Talk about the communities you're in. Talk about the experience you're getting. Talk about the role plays you're doing. All that stuff. That's going to be good leverage as well.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, it can be, so like this side that we're talking about is like the documentation is kind of like what I'm working towards. But then I also want another side of the content. There's another content pillar that's like, okay, what have I done? And so kind of that full spectrum of what I've done and what I'm working towards. If you can post content that covers those two areas, like you already have some decent setting results. So that's great. Let's use them. Let's create some content about them. And ideally, let's create some talking head content about them as opposed to just these videos where it's just like the B-roll and the on-screen text. So I think let's try posting these two type of content. I would probably archive all the video editing stuff, like unless you want to go back into video editing, which you don't. So let's archive this stuff. Let's start fresh. Let's think about it from like, okay, if an offer owner is coming onto my page, what would they need to see to want to hire me onto their offer, or to at least start a conversation with me in the DMs, right? I think that would improve your personal brand a lot.
Yeah. And do you think like after posting like my previous results, it's gonna give me like more credibility on my account?
Yeah, of course. That's the easiest way to get credibility. That's why I talk about all the things I've done in my content, whether that's the followers, the monthly income, the different clients I'm working with. Like the best way to get results or to get success is to show previous success. And and so I would go about that, man. Awesome.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Should I create a new account or stick with my main for content? Whatever you're gonna do, Justin, like I would go all in on it. So if you want to create another account and you're worried that like your friends or family are gonna see from this account, then fine. Like I like to have, like I myself have a personal account for my friends and family. It literally has like 38 followers. And then I have my 80,000 follower business account. So it's totally fine to have two. But if you do create a new one, let's just make it all about sales, all about content. So it's really up to you. It's just a matter of like, do you need a new account to start posting consistently? Is there something in your head like, oh, I don't want to be posting on this current account for whatever reason? If so, let's create a new account. If there's no good reason to create a new account, let's just start posting on here. Like you already have some followers, and presumably some qualified followers at this point. So I would probably just keep it the same unless you have a good reason for posting, for creating a new account. Ahmed, do you have another question?
No, that was all. I appreciate the help.
Let's take a look at Saul's account if he's still here.
Hey, quick question, Jack. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You were reviewing my Instagram. My bad. I had some buddies text me and you were trying to ask me a question, but I was finna hop on a closing call. I delayed it a little bit.
Oh shit. What was I forget what I was trying to ask, man.
Yeah, I apologize, brother. Yes, sir.
So no problem. You can go back and watch this recording afterwards. I think I was giving my tips, or at least asking some questions about what you should be doing. But just I guess quickly, like, what do you feel like is missing from your page or your content that is preventing you from getting more leads?
Well, right now I'm on a barber offer right now. I'm a closer, and I've only been a closer now for about a week. I've been in high ticket sales now for about 3 weeks. When it comes to the content itself, honestly, I've been trying to post a little bit of everything. I just seen your tips on either something that has to do with money, genuine interest, or development. I think development is probably what I'm liking as right now, but I'm not too sure. Yes, sir.
This is yours, right?
Yes, sir. 100%.
Yeah, I was saying like it's great that you're having it, like that you do have a lot of content, talking head content as well. Yeah, I think this is better than most profiles I see. So, and I was saying this. It seems like there's a lot of mindset stuff, communication stuff, mindset stuff. let's talk a little bit more explicitly about sales, about high ticket sales or whatever. And let's talk about what you've done as a setter. If you have results, like let's just talk about some of your results, not just the mindset stuff. Like we can still have a mix of that, and it shows that you're into self-improvement. It shows like you're a hard worker. But let's post content that's like a little bit more tailored to the role that you're in now, and even documenting your process. You'd say, like, I'm on a mission to collect this much cash as a closer. Here's what I did today. Like, and it's like, it doesn't even need to be like a crazy video. It's like, I woke up, studied sales, got on calls, closed some calls, had a meeting with my mentor. Just like documentation content, like what I just kind of mentioned, will be good because it shows you're on a mission. Like you're working towards something, which is really what guys who are hiring want from the guys that they're hiring. So I would post that kind of stuff. You can still keep posting a little bit of this mindset stuff. That's totally fine. Especially stuff that applies to sales, like communication content, but like, here's how you can communicate better to make more money in sales. Like that's a better angle than like communication without compromise is pointless. So just try to frame the things you're already talking about in the context of showing that you're an expert in sales and closing, if that makes sense.
100%, bro. I appreciate that advice, bro. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it. Good luck on your call.
I appreciate you, brother. Talk soon.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Who was I looking at? Saul, right? Yeah. Is Saul here? Not anymore. Cool. Is there anyone else? I have like a couple more minutes here. Anyone else that wants to want me to look at their Instagram?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool, Michael. I'll pull it up here. Bay Area growth op, growth op and Roblox. Okay. Learn dev. Okay. So what do you do, man?
He
I
does
do.
Roblox. He does Roblox.
Okay. Yeah.
Michael.
I'm kidding, Michael. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
I basically do Roblox. I make games and teach people how to make games, and yeah, that's basically about it.
Okay, so what does your offer look like kind of right now?
I don't actually have an offer right now. It's just I'm posting this just to post, I guess, but no offers right now.
So what are you in this community for?
Learning sales and getting the right connects and learning to build personal brands. So I'm here.
Okay, you're learning sales, but like why? If you don't have your own offer, like are you trying to get on someone else's offer?
I'm learning sales so I can do like my own offer. Because I know like if I'm gonna have my own offer, I'm gonna need to learn sales.
Let me change your perspective on something, Michael. You already have your own offer. Right, and that is closing. That is your offer. Right? You help offer owners scale from zero to you help offer owners make an extra 100K cash collected.
Right.
That's their offer. You are a business owner. Every single one of you guys are a business owner.
Right.
Right. And closing is your service that you're offering.
Yeah. And you've closed before then?
No, I have not.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to understand the situation. Let me take a look at the content here. Cool. Learn here. Let's see. Helping each other grow. Okay, cool. So this is your free community, right?
Yes.
Nice. And how big is this community?
It has 200 members right now.
Nice. Okay. Work. I want to know, like, what goes on in the community? How do you help guys in the community?
So some of them ask me about how they can get started to make games. So I just give them resources of what I've used in the past, and I just have conversations with people they'll just have basic questions and everyone else can just answer each other.
Do you answer those questions in your content? Because that's what you should do, right? Take
Yeah.
the questions you're asked in the community and make a video answering each of them on your page.
Right. Okay.
Do you have so you've created games, like do you talk about the projects you've actually created?
Oh, no, I actually have not.
All right, man. You know you need to be doing this.
Yes.
The bar is so low, man. Like you have this community, you've created projects, you have the proof. It's literally about creating it. Like you have all you need to get started. Talk about, I run a 200-person community focused on this, and this. And here are the 3 tools that I've used to, create these games or however you want to phrase it. Like let's leverage that, as I was talking about earlier with the brand outliers. Brand outliers, that you have this community, that you're actively helping 200 plus people with this skill. You've done it for yourself before. And so let's talk about that at the beginning of the video, in the hook preferably, and then go on to answer those frequently asked questions. So you can combining your authority with the questions that the people in your community are asking, and that's gonna be the best type of video for you to create.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Very much. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, man. Thanks for the questions here. Cool.
Real quick. Can you do one thing for me? One favor. I don't know if he's in
Yeah.
here or not. Oh, he's not in here. Never mind. I was gonna say I want you to play one Caleb Sells video, please, and go to his account. I showed you him yesterday.
Yeah, is it?
K. It's with a K.
It's okay. It's always with the K. Fuck.
Right there. Yeah. Where is it? Yes.
Yeah.
This is my favorite content creator right here. Can you scroll down?
Yeah.
Scroll down. Yeah, yeah, that one right there. Yeah, please play that one. Yeah. Can you please audit this personal brand.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Yes. So obviously, like he kind of knows who he's speaking to, but like I feel like the next step in people creating content is like really getting in detail, and like that's what you teach, like the detailed nuances, right? Because anyone can kind of post these videos, but like talk about how to go from like regular content creator to just fucking like really dialing in everything and just being the best.
Yeah. Let me just see this again. If you don't track, okay. Yeah. So let me just take a look at this guy's account. So he has all this proof, right? He's doing pretty well with his with the offers he's on, right?
Yeah, he's doing like 25K in comms, I think. But it's like for you, Jack, like you obviously you help people that want to get started too, but you mainly are like advanced. So like how can someone go from like regular to like fucking top tier,
Yeah, like I think with this, like one thing I'm noticing is the feed kind of looks like shit. Like I'm always like, let's have the feed reflect how good we are at the skill that we're trying to sell. So a discombobulated feed with like hooks like this might get views, but is it really attracting the right type of people? And is it really positioning him as who he wants to be? Like he's not on the call, so it's hard to know that. But like I think this isn't going to typically be attracting business owners, right? It's going to be attracting like young, unemployed guys probably.
It looks like a friend page. It's just for his friends.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really position him as a professional. And like I know in this space, it doesn't need to be like, you don't need to be wearing a suit and tie or anything like that, but like presenting yourself as how you want to be perceived online and on camera. I think that's kind of missing here. I think what he could do, like, does he have any free resources? Because I would be like linking, I would be having call to actions for like basically every single video, especially the stuff that's more related to sales and closing and stuff like that, where you talk about a result that you got, talk about how you did it, and then you basically say, you can literally learn how to do what I just talked about. Just comment this word and I'll send you my guide. then guys are getting the free sauce. They're seeing him as more of an authority. And then you could just naturally start conversations from those guys commenting. And it's kind of like a warm lead at that point. Also, could you grow your email list, but I don't think that'll be as applicable with Caleb. I think his bio's good. I think this is like a really good bio. You know, kind of what you do, what you've done, and then a call to action, like as I've been talking about. Super simple, don't overcomplicate it. I even like the arrows, like it's just kind of like forcing my eyes down to look at this link. Let's see. So yeah, good landing page. I would say like an easy piece of content to make, or an easy type of content to make, is like take a look at your offer, take a look at the different steps, the different sections that you teach people, and just make a piece of content on each of those. And then in that way, with the call to action at the end. So by posting that type of content, it's just so aligned with your offer that it's going to make it a lot easier to kind of get people through the process and upsell them to the paid offer after they see all this free content. So I think that's a good start. Let's see. Yeah, I know that guy. Okay. Yeah, does he make content about like, I closed this much money, or I made this much money in the last X amount of time, and here's how?
No,
Doesn't seem
no,
like
I
it, right?
don't even think he has any YouTube videos either.
Yeah, like if he really wants to dial in, he'd start a YouTube and kind of break down the topics in more sauce. That's going to build way more trust. Like a 30-minute YouTube video is going to build way more trust than a 30-second Instagram reel on the same topic. So that's what he could do. I think what he should do though is dial in the short form first, and focus on doing those call to actions, on improving the grid, and then potentially starting to create a YouTube channel and going more in depth about his knowledge there, and then having like a link to book in a call with him. But yeah, it seems like what he's doing is kind of working already. It's just a matter of tweaking these couple different things, and he should be printing. Yeah.
But he's going to join real quick. I think he has some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Has Caleb been here yet? I was just having him cook the shit out of your profile.
Yo, what's up, boys?
Hey man, I was just just going over your profile here.
Please,
Yeah.
bro. Any critiques, anything.
Cook him.
This is
Cook
all
him,
me
Jeff.
winging it.
Cook him.
So the bio's good, man. That's the one good thing I'm noticing.
Wait. I'm gonna put you guys on speaker real quick. I can't hear you.
Hello?
What's up, boys?
Okay. I was just saying, so the bio is good. The bio is really good. I think
What
the
about
part
it?
I missed, I think it has the 3 steps: who you are, what you do, and then a call to action as the third line. I think that's the exact formula that I typically recommend clients follow. I think the other thing is like your feed looks like you're just sending like random videos to a friend.
That's what I'm
It
doing.
doesn't look like you're a professional. And it doesn't mean you need to wear a suit and tie, but like, let's find a bit of a consistent filming setup. Let's get some decent lighting on you. Like
How do you mean decent lighting?
like for me, I have a lighting setup. I have a home office stuff, but like this stuff, late at night with you kind of looking up, can't really see your face. It's just not optimal, and it's just kind of tanking your views. Like if you just had a bit better lighting on your face, because you're doing all this stuff is talking head videos, so we want to be focused on your face. Like if you just had better lighting on that, I'm sure you just start getting better views as like such a small thing to change. I think I was also saying
even,
like
even the same views too, but just a better audience.
yeah, probably both. Probably
Yeah.
both, to be honest.
More views, yeah.
I think
And,
I didn't know lighting was that important.
talk about that, Jeff.
Important.
Talk about camera quality and lighting and how much people like. Talk about all the misconceptions that people have.
I don't know. For me, like the main reason, one of the key reasons I get all my clients is because of how my brand looks. And obviously it's a different offer. So it's slightly less, I guess, slightly less important if you have like a setter coaching.
But
closing
even then,
offer.
it's like fucking, if you want to land a 30K OT role, like you're posting
Yeah,
talking head, where you have a nice setup.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have a nice
Exactly.
setup with your off runner that you close 20K in commissions with, Caleb, and you post a testimonial video of you being like, yes, so how did I help your business by closing for you? You're gonna have inbound off runners, and then you can
Yeah.
also funnel them into management if you want.
Yeah, I know the camera quality is important. It's not as important as what you're saying in the video, but I do think if you just could literally just have a bit of a consistent setup with some nice lighting, and I think the other main thing that I wanted to talk about is having like call to actions in your videos, funneling guys, comment this keyword and I'll send over this free resource. Is going to be a super good way to, one, increase the average views, because by more people commenting for the free resource, the algorithm is just going to boost the shit out of it. Also get more conversations started with warm leads, right? And after someone comments, you have a many chat automation. It just sends them the resource. And then it's like a warm lead and you can just start the conversation there. And it also just positions you as more of an authority. If you're actually giving out free resources and people take the free resources, find them valuable and actually implement them and achieve some success, then when they actually do have money, they're going to be like, yeah, like this is the guy I want to go with because he already proved to me that what he teaches is, works for me. So I think that's going to be huge as well. Have you thought about kind of doing any call to actions or free resources, anything like that?
Yeah, some CTAs. I never thought of free resources.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be like your whole program. It can just be kind of like one specific aspect. And the whole point of a free resource or a lead magnet isn't actually solving the problem. It's answering the what and the why. So like, what's the problem? Why is it important to solve? And then if they actually want to solve it, or like the how, then that's what they're going to pay you for.
That's sauce. That's fucking sauce right there. If you guys didn't
The
hear
whole point is basically making them understand the problem and why it's such a big problem, and then basically creating that sense of urgency within the prospect for them to want to solve it and basically pay you to help them solve it. So I also do have a lead magnet training or like a free resource training, how to actually build it out. I could share with Ryan as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't typically do, but I could do that.
But do you think that just spamming a bunch of talking head is fine?
Yeah, I think for you, talking heads totally fine. I think even with the iPhone quality, like there's a ton of guys that do really well because it comes off as authentic, as genuine. And I think in terms of the guys you're targeting, they're typically pretty young guys. Is that correct, or is it more older business?
Yeah, typically 17 and 25.
Yeah. So because you're targeting that demographic, the raw talking head videos with the iPhone makes a lot of sense. Whereas for me, if I'm targeting, guys making 30K per month, running a business, who want their personal brands and content to look better, it's super important that my content looks good. So I think it really does depend on the offer that you're running. I think with you, the talking head is totally fine. I would just make those couple tweaks, finding a better recording setup, doing some call to actions and dropping some lead magnets, naturally starting conversations with those high intent leads, and just, ultimately getting them on and closing them.
Beautiful. Okay.
Jack, I wanted to ask you real quick, for the talking head videos, what I heard is like, if they don't know who you are, it's more just like, it's kind of like not optimal. But I get what you're saying in this instance, since it's more of just like authentic. It's like they're on a FaceTime call. That's what I hear a lot of people say, but I want to hear your thoughts on that.
All my videos are talking head videos, and
Okay.
the way to go about that, like I've had talking head videos go viral, and the whole point is, yeah, they might not know you at the beginning, but tell them, give them context. I'm 22 and I have 80,000 followers and ... I've said that in so many videos, and they've blown up. And it's most of them have never seen me before, but they hear my age, they hear my following, and they hear how much money I'm making. And I don't need to go into my whole backstory for them to understand who I am. I just need to, as we talked about earlier, leverage some of these brand outliers in the content to get people to care, and then go into the rest of the video. So you can definitely do talking head videos really well, even
Yep.
if people don't know who you are. You just need to qualify and give context to who you are at the very beginning.
Gotcha.
And ideally, it's something that they want as well. So then they're like, oh, it's worth, like, this guy has what I want. Let me stick around. Let me pay attention.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I would say talking head are totally valid.
Okay. Could you check my Instagram if that's cool with you?
Yeah.
It's
Where is it?
it's go up. It's just I'll just let you know what it is. You could just search it up. I don't know where it went. Yeah,
Many comments.
I'll just tell
Okay.
you. You could just search it up. It's Stoic, so STOIC. Shad SHAD. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I like the username. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Reminder to what life is about. High ticket sales, documenting my journey. DM me for any questions. Okay. Yeah, I like the content, talking head.
Okay.
Let's see what the views are looking like. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
they just
too
kind of
bad.
ramped
Like,
up. Yeah.
you got a couple 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this, just this frame here.
Yeah.
Terrible lighting, terrible angle. If you never want to be lazy again, watch this. I like the text hook. Like, that's pretty good. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, it's not bad. I like the profile picture. I can see your face pretty clearly. Let's take a look at the wins here.
Yeah.
Got some Drake. Okay. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I haven't been consistent.
So are you pretty new to doing closing or what?
Yeah. I just I do full cycle, so it's yeah.
Okay. So what is your goal in terms of you're posting content? Who are you trying to attract?
Yeah, so I mean, like, right now my goal is just to like build my personal brand, so it's more better for me to like build connections, network. That's my main goal right now. Maybe in the future when I do like become a better sales, person, maybe I could start my own, info product or whatever it is in the future. But for now, my main goal is to like build connections, get my personal
Who?
brand out, get my name out. That's my main thing.
Build connections with who specifically? What type of person?
Yeah, like other people in the info space. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, it could be sales reps, it could be sales managers, personal brand guys. Like, it doesn't matter. Just like broadening my the people that I just know and I could be with. I feel like that's my main thing.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 17 right now.
I think for you young guys,
Yeah.
leveraging your age is such an easy thing to do. Like, I feel old when I'm talking to, like, I was 22, I just turned 23, and like I always have my age in the hook. Like, I'm 22 and blah blah blah. Especially if it's like I'm 22, like for you, like I'm 17 and last week I made $9,000. Like, what? That video is instantly going to be the most viewed video on your profile, right? So leveraging that as much as possible. Like, literally, like, I'm 17 and I'm on a mission to ... Videos it's like I'm on a mission to, or I got this result. Like, those, I would frame it like those kind of two different ways and include your age, because you are really young and what you're doing is impressive. So I would add that to like the hooks of a lot of these videos.
Got you. Okay. Yeah.
Again, just dropping those brand outliers. Let's see.
I like before I started sales, like I was really big on personal branding. I watched like a lot of Lee, who else? Like a lot of the guys that did storytelling. I know storytelling is big, and I wanted to like be. I've heard like being an outlier also helps, like having a different angle, being unique with the way your content is. Because I mean, a lot of people in the info space, they do a lot of like landscape videos, where it's like the text on the top and they kind of go through the wins, the losses. I don't think a lot of people have done storytelling in info though. Like, that's a big thing that I haven't seen. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but like just having a different angle. I haven't done it yet, but I feel like that would really help.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a creator. His name's Seth Lloyd. He's he's crazy at storytelling, and he has an info product as well. So he's
really.
I study his stuff, especially if you're trying to get into storytelling. But yeah, I don't think a lot of guys do it in info. and understand
For
how to
sure.
tell a story. So
Yeah.
I have a resource on that as well. I might send Ryan. Just giving you all my free sauce. But yeah, man, profile looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Appreciate you.
overall. Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Anything else? Sauce on stories. How significant are they? I think stories are important. Like the way I like to think about stories is like there's kind of 5 main types, and we're basically like there's documentation stories, just showing what you're doing day to day, showing you're a real person. There's like value stories. So if I were to post a value story, I'd be like, here are the 4 things that you need to build a personal brand today, and then I just actually kind of give sauce. Then there's like story sequences, which are more about selling. So for these, it's like, here's a problem. Here's how I've solved it for other people. And if you want me to solve it for you as well, comment or reply to this story with a keyword and I'll send more information. So those are more like the sales stories. So I like to mix in kind of the giving, which are the documentation, the value stories, with the taking, which are more the story sequences where I'm asking people for something. And so if you have a mix of that, where you're giving value, if you give enough, people will just want to give you kind of in return, like that reciprocity. So I like to be posting at least 1 story a day. That's the goal. I've seen guys that post like 8 stories a day. It's just a lot more effort. But the whole point of stories is it's meant to be kind of raw, kind of just documenting what you're doing, not overly produced. But at the same time, I think especially for you guys, document, like you guys, a lot of you are in the early stages of the sales career, basically, right? So documenting that journey, how you're getting better, how you're improving yourself, the work that you're putting in, the small results that you're getting, the big results that you're getting, stuff like that, to just document what you're doing. I think that's a great place to start with stories, and to show people that you're actually doing it, because there's a ton of guys who want to get into sales, whether that's setting, closing, but they're just on the sidelines, and you yourself might not think that you're credible enough to share, or like you've done enough yet to be able to share content about it. But compared to the guys who haven't even started yet, who want to be where you are now, like you're an authority to them. So if you think about it that way, like sharing content, sharing what you're doing, it's going to be motivational. It's going to be inspiring for other guys who want to be in your same situation, and it's just going to make them want to follow you, and buy into what you're doing that much more. If that makes sense. Cool, guys. I'm gonna stop presenting.
Thank you so much,
boys.
Jack, for the sauce.
Go off. Everyone can go off mute. What did you guys think of the
Yeah.
call?
So much
Everyone come off
sauce,
mute.
bro.
Everyone
Love
come
it,
off
bro.
mute. Everyone come off mute.
I really appreciate you.
Yeah. No, thanks for the time, guys. It was
Yeah.
it was fun. Let me know if you have
What-
any questions. I'm gonna send over. Yeah.
Where can
Go
we
ahead.
follow you?
Yeah, put your
Yeah,
Instagram
put
in
your
the chat.
social-
Everyone
yeah.
follow
Yeah.
Jack right now.
Yeah.
I will.
Jack, you're a goat,
It's,
bro.
it's funny because people call me the Penguin.
Oh.
Once you see my Instagram, you'll see why. But appreciate it, man. This
Jack's
is
my goat.
it's a great community. Ryan
Oh.
is got here. It's he's super knowledgeable, and he's definitely helped me a lot with the closing process as well myself. So you guys are in good hands.